to attend at Florida State University.
On ACC Live, the Noles War Room had a good day, bringing another great recruiting class to Tallahassee. But which other ACC schools did really well? We ask our expert. Plus, NFL tight end Greg Olsen launched his career at Miami. Now his brother has signed to play for the U as well. I talked to both of them. And
let the party begin in Raleigh.
Last time NC State faced Duke, it was pandemonium. Tonight, the Cameron Crazies want to see their team get revenge. ACC Live Throwback starts now. Welcome to ACC Live. It's a Throwback Thursday show. I'm Jeff Fischel. We throw back all the way to yesterday, National Signing Day. It's over, but the craziness has carried over into Thursday. It got so crazy yesterday, Duke coach David Cutcliffe even placed different helmets out on a table and committed to, well, he committed to Duke.
There it is, huh? Yeah. I'm going to Duke.
Cutcliffe having a little National Signing Day fun. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'll talk with 24/7's National Recruiting Director, JC Shurburtt. Yesterday, we had him on for the entire show. We'll wrap up National Signing Day. He'll talk about any late surprises and break down the ACC 1 through 12 one last time. What's your reaction to the big day? Tweet us at the ACCDN, or you can tweet me directly at Jeff Fischel. Yes, National Signing Day was a top Twitter trend all day yesterday. A big topic nationally was how the top high school players send in their national letters of intent. Yes, the fax machine. And this is absolutely the best fax machine picture we saw yesterday. Clemson assistant coach Tony Elliott celebrating the letter from top recruit Mackenzie Alexander. But what we all noticed, look behind him. So the truth comes out. The Clemson football coaches are obsessed with Twilight. And it looks like Edward Cullen as well. Actor Robert Pattinson, or as the kids like to say, our Pats. Now, maybe Dabo Sweeney looks to our Pats for inspiration. Or maybe Taj Boyd likes to think of himself as a quarterback vampire. That's the kind of story I'd like to believe. But sadly, it's simpler than that. Assistant coach Jeff Scott revealed the fax machine is in the office of administrative assistant Jill Wilkes. Or maybe that's what they want us to believe. Yes, like I said yesterday, it's the one day a year everyone is fascinated with fax machines and tweeting about them too. This one from Derek Schultz. How ridiculous must a fax machine look to an 18-year-old kid? It is a little bit of an anachronistic thing, right? Dan Sorensen tweets, today's recruits can all do something that I cannot. Operate a fax machine. Yes, I look at the one in our newsroom and I'm totally perplexed. Saturday down south, old men use new technology, Twitter, to follow young men using old technology. Very good point. Now here's the thing. An ESPN reporter tweeted yesterday that the NCAA doesn't actually require a fax. I truly had no idea. I thought it was the only way. But again, according to ESPN, an email with an attachment would be just fine. But at this point, the fax machine on signing day has become such a big thing. Everyone thinks they have to do it that way. I say keep it going, right? So who got the most faxes that made other fax machines jealous? Here are the final rankings from 24/7 Sports. The Atlantic Division, Florida State and Clemson. Florida State number 1 overall in the ACC, Clemson 2. Then you look at the rest of the Atlantic Division. Maryland had a great class. Here's the Coastal Division. Miami finishes on top, finishing strong. Al Golden got 17 players. Virginia Tech, Carolina, UVA, Pitt all did well. Even Georgia Tech at 13 players, with just 14 signees overall. So here he is, my personal recruiting guru, JC Shurburtt from 24/7 Sports. First of all, JC, you finally got some sleep last night, I hope.
Yeah, no doubt. I slept like a log last night and woke up refreshed today and ready to go.
All right, so let's start with the entire ACC as a whole. Give me a sense of how the ACC did on National Signing Day.
Well, I think there were several great efforts. You know, you look everything from what Maryland was able to do, getting 2 prospects from in-state there at the end they weren't expecting, and also Yannick Ngakoue, to Florida State's continued rise, another top 10 class for Jimbo Fisher. You know, Clemson finished strong. Virginia Tech, it seems like they've been done with their class for about 45 days now, and they certainly signed a good one. Virginia got a big get at the end. Overall, I think this conference tends to attract talented players. I mean, I don't think that talent on the football field has been the issue, and I think that that's proven itself out yet again this recruiting cycle.
All right, so let's start at the top. Florida State, the top class in the ACC. I know you were impressed. Florida State, Jimbo Fisher loses basically all of his assistants, but he still finished strong.
Yeah, losing 6 assistant coaches and then finishing like Florida State did is a tribute to Jimbo Fisher. In fact, 4-star defensive tackle Keith Bryant, who they landed yesterday, cited his relationship with Fisher as a reason that he signed with the Noles. 5-star linebacker Matthew Thomas from Miami is a Nole, and they also closed with a quality lineman in Wilson Bell. I think they finished number 8 in the 24/7 Sports team ranking, so another top 10 effort and the top class in the ACC for the Noles.
Right behind the Noles, Clemson. Dabo Swinney really finished strong, didn't he?
Yeah, and you looked at it, and there were a lot of guys that sort of seemed like they were leaning this way or that had Clemson in the mix at the end, and so you sort of wondered if he was going to have his normal big finish, and I never really doubted that he would. 5-star corner Mackenzie Alexander, they beat the whole country on him. Adrian Baker, another corner from South Florida, Clemson beat Oklahoma on him. And then moving forward during the day, they ended up landing 4-star offensive guard Tyrone Crowder from North Carolina, and also flipped Corn Wiggins, the very talented safety that was committed to UNC from the Tar Heels. So a big 4-person land for Dabo Swinney, and Clemson finishes in the top 15 nationally.
Now, Miami 3rd in your ACC rankings, just 17 recruits, as I mentioned, but it's really a matter of quality over quantity, right?
Absolutely, and you know, I continue to say Kevin Olsen's the most important guy in this class for the Canes. You know, they needed somebody that could distribute the ball to the speedy playmakers they always have, and Olsen, being sort of a Cane legacy with his brother Greg playing there, understands what that's all about. I think he's a great fit for the offense. And then yesterday they got a surprise in 4-star receiver Stacy Coley. People thought the Noles were going to get him too, but he ended up signing with Miami. So there was some good news yesterday for Miami on signing day.
JC Shurburtt, National Recruiting Director for 24/7 Sports. Not only did you sleep well last night, I hope you had a tasty beverage at some point last night as well. Thanks again for everything you've done with us the last couple of days here on the ACC Digital Network.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
Now here are the top 5 ranked players that are coming to the ACC. Dorian Johnson chose to stay home and go to Pitt. JC says he could start right away at tackle. The FSU war room erupted when Matthew Thomas announced yesterday Virginia Tech gets another Fuller. Vincent, Corey, Kyle, and now Kendall. Frank Beamer is asking the Fuller family to keep procreating, I think. All right, now that's a look at the top ACC recruits. Now let's do some other news from around the conference. Let's get you those headlines. Here's what's happening in the ACC now. Legendary North Carolina's women's basketball coach Sylvia Hatchell goes for career win number 900 tonight against Boston College. Hatchell would be just the 3rd women's coach to ever reach 900 wins. She's in her 38th season as a head coach. Duke big man Mason Plumlee is a finalist for the Senior Class Award, which goes to the student athlete who best combines the 4 C's: community, classroom, character, and competition. Plumlee is part of an elementary school reading project and other community service programs. The winner is announced during the Final Four. Miami coach Al Golden was remarkably candid yesterday, talking about how the NCAA investigation into the Miami athletic department is hurt recruiting. The investigation was expected to be done by now, but the NCAA recently admitted it made mistakes, and now the whole case is in flux. Golden says it's taken a toll on all the coaches, players, and other schools are using it against them in recruiting. Despite that, the Canes really did have a very good recruiting class, and that is the ACC now. The ACC Network and Raycom Sports bring you Season 2 of Kings of the Court. This year's second show takes a look at 2 guards who made unique impacts on the ACC. Jay Williams, a 2-time National Player of the Year from Duke, but a motorcycle accident ended his playing career. Hear how that affected his life and about how his return to the game is going so well. Also, Kenny Anderson takes you to Queens, New York, where he became a playground legend before moving on to Georgia Tech. Go to acc.com/Kings to see where Kings of the Court airs in your area. After the break, what advice does NFL tight end Greg Olsen have for his younger brother, who's now following in his footsteps and going to play football at Miami? That's next.
Out with the old and in with the delicious. Commit to bold taste with the new Flavor Resolutions menu at Ruby Tuesday. 10 entrees starting at $9.99. Try our savory barbecue brushed ribs and bacon wrapped shrimp. Or take it up a notch by adding coconut-crusted shrimp to our mango salsa-topped Caribbean chicken. Plus, enjoy our endless garden bar, free with any chef-inspired entree. Ruby Tuesday. It's all good here. Start the new year with savings. Visit rubytuesday.com today for a $5 coupon.
What's better, bigger or smaller?
Bigger! So which would you rather have, a big tree house or a small tree house?
If it's big enough, you can have a disco. Oh, yeah.
Why do you not want a smaller tree house?
Because it wouldn't be able to fit a flat screen TV, and then the TV would be about this big, and you would have to hold the wire. In the position you would hold the wire, you wouldn't be able to see the TV.
That's a pain in the buns.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not complicated. Bigger is better, and AT&T has the nation's largest 4G network.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Chase Sapphire. This is Stacy from Springfield.
Oh,
Hello?
yes, I didn't realize you'd be talking to an actual person.
You don't need to press 0. I'm here.
Reach a person, not a prompt, whenever you call Chase Sapphire.
This Dunk of the Day brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Daniels with a brick to follow. There's McDaniels high up and slams it down. That was a little bit of a pull-up, but his head was way over the rim. Oh, my.
Share the love this Valentine's with a free dessert when you make reservations on rubytuesday.com.
That's KJ McDaniels. Starting Monday, it's the month of Dunkuary here on the ACC Digital Network. You decide the best dunk ever in the ACC archives. Candidates for all 12 ACC schools. So watch ACC Live Monday for details. Now, welcome back to the show. I'm Jeff Fischel. 3 games are tonight. Here's the daily menu brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. KJ McDaniels and the Clemson Tigers are at UVA. McDaniels, by the way, the only player in the conference to lead his team in blocks and steals. These two teams, they really grinded out, played great defense. They're the top 2 in scoring defense and 11th and 12th in offense. Honestly, it would not be a surprise if this one ends up in the 40s. The Terps are at Virginia Tech. Really a must-win road game for the Terps. They're 4-5 in the ACC. They need conference road wins. Of course, it won't be easy in Blacksburg, going against the nation's leading scorer, Eric Green, averaging 25 a game. And NC State at Duke. Reports are NC State point guard Lorenzo Brown did not practice yesterday. You'd have to think if the ankle is still too sore to practice at all, we probably won't see him tonight. That means more Rodney Purvis at the point and more Tyler Lewis off the bench. Duke is getting used to playing without Ryan Kelly. The Blue Devils have won 3 in a row. That's tonight's menu. Sports fans have been so zeroed in on National Signing Day. Apparently, so is at least one ACC basketball player. Someone tweeted to Florida State big man Carl White, "Why not try out to be a wide receiver for the football team?" Now that makes sense, right? Carl White answered. He said, "I'm going to talk to Jimbo. I want to talk to Carl White right now. Carl, man to man, you and me. Carl, if you're serious, I want to be there for the tryout." And Jimbo, we go way back now. I'm talking to you. Carl, you're too tall. Get out of the way. Jimbo, if you can find a uniform that fits, put him on the team. On behalf of all ACC football fans, I want to see a Carl White as a wideout. All right, Miami Hurricane football fans get something to look forward to, and they saw it yesterday, a solid recruiting class led by quarterback Kevin Olsen. You heard JC Shurburtt. Olsen's the key to the class. Olsen's brother Greg starred for the Hurricanes as a tight end, now plays for the Carolina Panthers. I spoke to both of them yesterday to talk about National Signing Day and why the Olsen family loves the U.
Kevin, let's start with you. Congratulations. How's it feel?
It feels great. I've known that I've been going to Miami for, almost a year now. And, it's just a great feeling to have finally, officially being a Hurricane.
I saw your letter of intent. You tweeted it out this morning, right? So you were clearly excited. I think you tweeted it out right at 7 o'clock.
Yep, we signed it right at 7 o'clock and we faxed it in. And, right on later I tweeted it out and, it was great.
A good day for Al Golden and the Miami Hurricanes as well. Talk about the recruiting class.
We had a great class this year. We had a bunch of guys commit. We had a big wide receiver come in, Stacy Coley, and we had a couple guys, like Ray Lewis and Alex Ball already committed. So, I think our class really shaped up pretty good.
Guys, let's break down each other's games. Greg, you first. What kind of quarterback is your little brother?
Well, hopefully a smart one going forward here, but I think he's got a ton of potential and a lot of upside. I think, first and foremost, I think he understands that playing quarterback is different than playing any other position. And, with that responsibility, there comes a little different, a lot of different things that, make it a little just a challenge. And I think physically he can do it all. I think mentally he has a real good grasp of the game for how young he is. And, he just has to continue to learn and continue to get better. And I think he'll be pretty good.
Kevin, all right, it's your turn. Your big chance to break down your brother's game as an NFL tight end.
Careful.
Well, I think Greg's definitely, a balanced, everybody always thought, he was more of a receiver type. And, if you watched him, you know that he's a great blocker and, he's on the field for every snap. And, he doesn't really miss much, when they're running the ball, he's not the guy that's subbing out, for another guy to come in to block. He does the blocking, he's leading through on, run plays. And, he's kind of a do-it-all tight end for Carolina.
All right, so give us some tips about when you're hanging out in South Florida. What's some fun spots that Kevin might discover?
I think he knows them. He went there, from the time he was a young age. He saw all the spots, and I think he has a pretty good insight into I don't know if they're the same, though. I have to say, I'm getting old now, so when I was there, I don't know if that's fun anymore. We'll let Kevin figure it out.
Now, guys, there is an age gap a little bit between the two of you, so maybe there's a little bit of a generation gap. You guys see things maybe a little differently. So, Greg, let's maybe talk music. Who's your favorite artist?
Zach Brown Band.
Zach Brown Band. Kevin?
My favorite artist is Eric Church.
All right, so you guys still got the country thing going. All right, I'm good with that. Now, Kevin, important last thing here. Now, Greg, we've seen he can get the locks flowing, man. Are you gonna go let the hair grow out?
Probably not. My hair is a little bit different. I don't really get the wave and the curl. It's kind of pinch straight, kind of looks a little goofy. So probably not going to get the long hair.
I cleaned up for you guys today.
Hey, now, Kevin, I saw your mom and dad back behind you before we started the Google Hangout. They've got to be thinking there's maybe a chance 4 or 5 years down the road, you guys could be playing in the NFL together. Do you guys talk about that?
Yeah, we've talked about it a couple of times, kind of jokingly, and, it's definitely possible, Greg can play, definitely for another 4 or 5 years. And, if I'm fortunate enough to get a chance, then, that'll, be an awesome experience.
Greg, can you hold out for a few more years?
Great talking to those guys. You can watch the full Google Hangout right now on our YouTube channel. Tomorrow on ACC Live Tip-Off, Mike Jaminski and I look ahead to the battles this weekend, including North Carolina at Miami. The Canes trying to stay perfect in the ACC. Carolina playing some great basketball right now. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at the ACCDN. And if you want more recruiting breakdowns from JC Shurburtt, search through our YouTube channel for yesterday's show. I had him on for 20 minutes breaking down video of the big names to sign and breaking down the team rankings by the Atlantic and Coastal Division. He also gave us our top 5 overall. I'll be here tonight at the ACC Digital Network studios tweeting about tonight's games. Tweet me. I'm at Jeff Michelle. See you ACC Live Tip-Off tomorrow.